Hey there. Welcome. Oh, hey man, flipping. Let's see. How about now? How about now? Okay. Sorry about that. Hey, and welcome to what is not Space Engineers. This is Star Citizen. Well, this will be Star Citizen. My intro has no Star Citizen clips because I've never streamed or recorded this before, so that's part one. I called an audible today because one is because of the big expo that's going on with Star Citizen. Two, because I have some friends who've never played and kind of, give them a chance to see it. Three is I have some friends that do play it and they can watch me just epically fail at it. Also to get some video on this. Also because I do have the the outline because I actively play the From Outer Space stuff, but I have all of the cutaway clips and everything like that ready. It's just I just really want to do this, and it most of it is just to kind of show. Let me cut into the active before I get going too far into this. This is the one of the opening screens. The big expo is going on right now, and it's they have free to play, free to fly kind of a situation going on, and so the servers are heavily loaded. To me, I think part of this is a load test of their actual capacity, and so this is part of it. And some of the and one of my friends who plays this was saying that he was seeing some impact from all of the players and stuff like that. And where is the mouse? There it is. So it was one of those. They're seeing the impact, so it's just probably not the best time to stream or best time to stream. It's kind of one of those things where it's just if you're gonna show people when it's buggy, show them when it's buggy. So that's kind of where this is at. It's gonna. A lot of this stuff is gonna take time, take time to load, take time to travel. But I really just kind of one of the things is I have not had a whole lot of time on this, so don't take this as an expert, expose of stuff. This is a fairly noob person showing, a fairly noob approach and view from it. And it's almost kind of almost new player, but not quite, because I haven't just from scratch open box kind of a deal. My audio is clipping again. You always get everything right, and then it feels like it changes. And it did change because these are not my normal settings. Oh, you know what? I didn't save it. It's this isn't right. These aren't my normal settings. That should be a little better. It can hear the gate. You gonna load or you're just gonna sit there all day? Normally it goes into another screen besides this one, but might be Sunday night getting heavy thing. I was literally playing this 6 hours ago with relatively no problem or ease, so probably should have logged in or stayed logged in beforehand. Come on, you. I'm curious if the game audio will come through this too. I did set up all of this stuff somewhat last minute, so Well, now we get to sit here and chat while we watch the load screen. Wonder if there's any kind of... Oh, my CPU loads fine. I have a cat that is like... Normally on Sundays he doesn't scream and yell. And all of a sudden he decided to scream and yell. Now Mondays, yeah, you know, sure. I don't know what the hell his deal is. I don't know what the hell this deal is. Let's try some... There has been times that I've had to completely reboot the machine, so hopefully we don't hit one of those. Really, it's because, you know, it's been a little cool in my office, and I really want to just get my AIOs heated up so that I can heat my room. That's what I'm supposed to do. Like, I'm used to sitting on this screen for a long time, not the other screen. Because at least this one loads music and has a little description, you know, on the side. So with this game, I've been playing probably, I've maybe got 30 hours in, maybe. So, and for me, I'm one of those, it's just like, you know, minimum 100 hours before, you know, you can even consider you've played the game, let alone, you know, anything under that. And it's just like, oh, you've opened it up and you've looked at things and you've shut it off. Although I had completed Raft, not the latest release, but the release before, I completed that in like 50 hours. Yeah, so not a whole lot of time. But I did figure out, so now with that being said, there has been, it's probably been about 60 or 70 hours. If you count, I got my first, you know, trial account or pledge account, whatever you want to call it, back in like, oh, what would it have been? Would have been like 2014, about 2015. Oh, we're in. And that was, you know, you would load it and you could do like a couple of things, and then, you know, and then it would be in and out. And then there was one period where I played for, a good, you know, 2, 3, 4 hour sets, maybe 3, got stuck, just could into a world where, because of the activity of the game and how busy it was just causing my computer to lag so hard, and I just couldn't do anything, and it made it impossible to play. And then I recently started trying to play it again because, you know, I spent, you know, it's the theory, I spent all this money, I should be able to play the damn game. And so so I started playing again. I was running into problems, which caused me to build my whole new rig just so I could play this game. And we'll get to see why. So I am currently home based or regened at the, what is the base called? It's basically in the Crusader system in hopefully Ovalion or something like that. Hold on, let's see. It says here. It tells me where I'm at. Yeah, so I'm at the Crusader, and I am on Orison. And the reason being is this is a very the weirdest reason. It is a very computer load intense location because it's in the clouds and stuff like that, and it gets really chunky, and it's really hard, and it's a really difficult area. So not a whole lot of people are in this particular system, and so that's why I kind of hung out here. This is like New Babbage is where everybody else like normally spawns right away, which is good. It is a good solid place to start. I highly recommend if you do start playing, you start there. And like I said, I'm no expert, but the reason why is because one, a lot of the online tutorials you'll find will be based off of there, and two, that the layout is easier to get your head around. One of the things that you'll see right away, one is this, that you'll notice this chat window, can't close it. That's a bug that's been reported. Normally what you would do is you hit F1, which is your Mobi Glass, which is like your personal, it's like the info menu and stuff like that, and you go to Comlink, and you should be able to go to global chat, hit this gear, hit this, turn it off, come out, but it's still there. And it should be gone, and it has been gone in the past. So not sure if this is something to do with the current, free-to-play trial thing, or if but it's been a bug that's been reported for a while now. The reason why I haven't left yet is because I wanted to show this. This is where you start, and the reason why I've kind of been sticking around here is that once I walk out of this room, I can't go back into it. This is just kind of a spawn room, and you have the bed that you spawn out of and the little shower. And what's the reason why I'm showing this is the level of detail that they do in these, and this is specific to this station. So if I go to if I switch my home base to another station and I spawn there, the room is a completely different layout. Even in the smaller stations, in the easy hab rooms, completely different look. But the detail level on these, it's just, this is the reason why you I think is one of the reasons why people get so hooked on a game that's in development and is kind of glitchy. Is like, you got plants, you've got books in a bag, and you got your gun rack over here, and your vent, which is actually showing steam or frost or whatever you want, like you can actually see air movement coming out of it. You can even turn the lights on and off. Not that you'd be, and so the level of detail, you've got a stove, and you've got like coffee grounds and cookies and plates, and and a sink with a pad, and just all kinds of stuff, and a TV, and everything lends itself to that at some point you'll be able to like come back to this space. But once I walk out that door, I can't get back in. So hopefully, way down the road, that changes so that you can have it's in an MMO. It's completely understandable how to figure out how to manage this personal space like this. I even like these lamps I have in this room. It's pretty baller. So this is Green Circle, which is with the Orison station is kind of what it is. But okay, so I've gotten enough video of this that so we're leaving, never to come back. So I'll open up the door and we'll step outside. And now we're in the hallway of Green Circle apartments. And like I said, once you're out, you can't get back in. And so what you do is you hit the function key, which gives you the arrow. You can middle click, and if you're far away, supposedly you can zoom in to click, and then you should be able to access the buttons. And we'll see that later, but can't go back in. You can never go back. But yeah, you got this lovely, you know, it's a place that you'd want to live if you could live there, you know. And even has this walkout patio area. As you can see, we are definitely in a city in the clouds. It's just one of the things about this game is like it's stunning views, you know, of things. It's just quite amazing. So yeah, that's pretty. All right, so now we're gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna call the elevator. Let's actually go up to the roof first. Now there's a lot of like real little kind of detaily stuff too that goes on. So yeah, this is like the rooftop park area, so you can look out at different things. You know, just gorgeous views and everything like that. And it's one of the this location in particular kind of champions. All right, let's head to the lobby. I could use a little bit more music in the elevator. And this is the lobby, and of course it's, you know, stunning as usual. And you know, you can go up to the level, and it's supposedly like a spa level. So you got your kind of weight room. Just like, you know, if you had a high-end apartment with, you know, like weight room and you know, exercise room and spa and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like treadmills and have you so you can stay in shape in your video game. You know, the big thing that has been the focus with this game is been this like total immersion thing going on, you know. And you know, as it gets better and better, that gets closer and closer. But you know, assuming this is supposed to be the pool, you'll see a lot of the kind of NPCs that are just standing around. And what's great is that it's really hard to tell the NPCs from real players, except real players will be running. So if I go into my third person, and so what you'll note with me, I always, when I'm in a station, I always still like to have regular clothes on. So so I will switch out from spacesuit to regular clothes when I'm you know, at a station. So, but when regular players travel, they're always running. I mean, I could try to slow it down to a walk, so it looks like one of the NPCs, so you can't tell. But the problem is that then when you are actually moving, it's super slow. So generally, all actual players you can tell are actual players because they're running. There are some times when there's NPCs that are running, but when they are, you can tell it's most likely an NPC because they're running and then doing really weird things. All right, so we're gonna head out. And yeah, so this is the front grounds area here. Actually, this is the back. We're gonna troll around here to the front, actually. So we don't have the back door. But just the level of detail, even like the little leaves falling off the trees. So we're gonna cross over here. And we'll go to the well, we'll go to the store first. So one of the things that you have, like, and it's like really hard with this, you know, with certain stations. This one was a little trickier. Is like you have to kind of figure out where all the locations that you're going to need are located. All right, so this is just basically because this is the Crusader system, and Crusader is a manufacturer of ships. So this is the Crusader Industries showroom where you can actually see their like different ships. And during the Fly Free Expo event that's currently taking on, you can rent them, and I'm not sure how it works 'cause I haven't done any of the free flying. So yeah, here's their lobby. So, and these are real ships in the game that you can buy and you can fly. And the reason why I'm specifying this is like you see the smaller ship, which is, I don't care for it because I don't care for like the big ass gun on a small ship. It seems kind of goofy. Then you have this Hercules, and it's, you can, I mean, if you play the game long enough, because you can buy all the ships in game if you play long enough. You only have to kind of pay your $45 entry fee, as it were, and for a pledge donation for a ship. Where is that button? There it is. So I'm gonna push this button here, and this will lower this back gate. And yes, I can actually interact with their show, you know, floor model. So yeah, this has this big ass loading gate, and yes, you can actually buy rovers, and you can actually get rovers in the ship. I have one in this game. I have one. I've driven it around, and then this thing, and it has elevators in the ship. And you know, so this is the front. So you have the rear ramp, and then this is the front ramp. And this is one of the things I found got a little buggy is I walk up here and all of a sudden it just like blanks out. So hopefully they'll address that at some point. Not that you need to be walking up that ramp anyway, so. And then we can call the elevator. Oh, it's all right here. It just opens up the door. And then we can go in here, and the top deck is to go up, and exit ship is to take it down, and so you don't have to go through the ramp. You can just go up the elevator, and then you can actually walk around in this behemoth. You know, and there's little, you know, spaces and stuff like that for and so one of the things that's supposed to come eventually is that you'll be able to access these you can access the panel, but you would actually be able to physically repair these right now it's just more of a kind of a show type deal, but you'll be able to physically swap and repair these, or that's the intent at some point. So you've got like your propulsion parts through here. You have habitation lock, so if you just walk up to the door and wait a little bit, it'll open up. So you've got you know, crew quarters, and you even have crew lockers they can store stuff in. This is the bathroom. That glitched a little bit. Yeah, really kind of the level of detail and the level of error. So there's, and when I say error, not as in like design, like programming mistake like it not functions. I mean, you get a little glitch here and there. Here's the bridge for this thing. I mean, literally, you get in the seat and it slides forward, and you can, and then you're like flying, and you can see out this air, and you know, it's pretty impressive for such a big ship. Big cargo ship, and this is not the biggest ship. This would be a medium-sized ship. So yeah, we got a rec room, which is gonna have like a table and, you know, and like TV. I like the layout on this, by the way, too. I actually, one of the reasons why I liked staying at this is like I do like these ships, and I like how the team or whoever it is that is doing the Crusader stuff, how they do it. It's I've actually been very happy. I'm very impressed, I should say, with their work. Take the ladder down. Sure, there's some other spaces. There's online videos, particularly by a morphologist who does a lot, and I mean a lot, of Star Citizen videos. I watched, and it's part of the reason why I kind of got back into it was from watching his videos. Big fan of him. But yeah, in fact, actually, if I was going to get one, I would actually be getting a Crusader ship. I would be saving up and getting that one that's straight ahead of me. I'm a real fan of that one. That is the... I'm more of a cargo hauler person than a combat, you know, FPS. In fact, I try to avoid combat at all costs because it's not my jam. But this is like focused on medium freight, and freight's my jam. But I mean, you know, got like rotary turrets and just all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, so yeah, these are the kind of ships that you can get, and they range in all different shapes and sizes. There's a cornucopia that were, in fact, actually, so you can think this should actually give some price tags here. So the smaller ones are running about 2.9, you know, 2.8 mil. That Hercules that we were in, 5.5. 5.2 for the transport carrier versus the bomber. The smaller ships we saw do about 2.8, but they the Star Runner, the Mercury Star Runner, which he's 4.9, so it's slightly smaller, but similar price tag. I mean, they're not all that extreme, but they do, you know, they'll run anywhere. For buying a ship in game will run you anywhere from, I think the cheapest ship I saw in there was like maybe 50, 60 credits, all the way up into like 10, you know, hundreds of millions. You know, it just all depends on size and what it does. Let's remember how to get out of here. I think it's over. Yeah, it's over here. And then there's some other locations and stuff like that. In case for those that are curious, yes, my tower is now generating a good amount of heat to keep my office warm. But when you talk detail work, one of the things is you get really in close here, and you can see like the little, even like the little screw mounts in the walls. You know, that's, you know, when you look at the large scale amount of this, and then you look at the finer details, you know, it's just, that's kind of impressive, and you can see why it's like, it's a little, it can be a little glitchy at time because it's trying to render a lot of vectors. I mean, these walkways are just beyond impressive. All right, but you know, let's spend all our time showing the showroom. Let's get out there and do some stuff. One of the other things I will show is like, well, we'll tour around here a little bit and we'll show the mall.
Missed your shuttle? Not aboard.
So Stratus building has two doors. One is for trade. So if you're a person like me who's big on doing like cargo hauling, you know, you trade in development. Divisions are your bread and butter, and you can see like they'll have like the trading price of commodities up here, and we're not sure how accurate those are, and they change system to system. And one of the things that you'll do is you'll go to like your journal, go to commodity price alerts, and you'll look for something like this, where Gillette Farms has an overstock price of their distilled spirits for $4.33, and then you look through for distilled spirits in an understock, and so you can like work the overstock understock. So you'll see one of the things that to keep in mind is that everybody is overstocked on fuel. I've never seen anything understocked on fuel. So yeah. Well, medical supplies is definitely something to get there, but we're not doing that right now because it's long and arduous, and it actually, unless so, doing commodities shipping and trading is expensive, a lot of work with not a whole lot of payout unless you're doing it in bulk. To give an example, if I with a smaller ship, I can get like, 3 SP, what do they call it, an SEU unit, and so I would get say a shipment of the food, and I'd spend 361 on buying it, and then at an overstock location and get an understock location. That would be at, this is not the one I want. Yeah, I can use this one. Ah, too late. Oh. Let's see. Do I have one that's going straight to the spaceport? Oh, I know what I was going to do. I wasn't going to go out anyways. I need to go back. But yeah, so I would buy it for 360 and then sell it for like 460. So I'd make $100 on the deal, but I'd spend half of so half of that goes in fuel and stuff like that, and then time, and you figure out like you barely make anything. You break even, in fact actually lose money. And then if you crash, if you glitch, if you get attacked, you lose it, and then that's it. You've just lost it. So it's a lot of people avoid it. They just do a bunch of other things. So we're in the mall part. So here's one of the clothing stores. You can go up. You can actually buy it right off the rack. You can, buy it off the dummy. Buy it off the rack. If you see it, you just hit the F key and then you walk up to it. And that's one of the things. Is like you'll like highlight on something, and it's like, oh, it's not doing anything, and particularly when it's that color, then you walk closer and then the menu will come up. One of the big glitches that I've noticed that's happening, that it may be associated with the current expo that's going on, we'll have to see if that is I can't interact with this dude.
Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
I can click on him and he'll talk to me, but I can't get his interaction menu. And I will be able to sometimes, like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20. Also, like, A couple of weeks ago when I was playing, I was having a glitch with being able to drink, and lately I've been having a glitch with being able to eat. Right now my food's at 81%, and you can see that on bottom left corner, and my hydration's at 86. So I can just so you can hit info and you can read about it. Energizing. One of the things you want to watch is you get these liquids and you'll actually say dehydrating. So I'll confirm purchase and I'll exit.
I think you're going to be happy with that.
And then, so I should be able to just left click and drink, but I'm not. It's probably in my inventory. And so I'll take it and put it in my hand. And then, so now I can actually drink it. And I can use it as a walk around drink too. Now drinking's been working for me, but like lately eating, it's like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 times it works. And the other thing is that even if you're like environmentally conscious, another store that's nice here is it's over here. Is this one? This is kind of like your everything store. What I like, it's like a convenience store. You can get clothes, you can get food, you can get stuff, and you can get weapons. So in the future, you're gonna go to a 7-Eleven and buy your, phaser rifle. Which reminds me, I do need to actually buy one. Actually, I joke and I kid, but I don't actually have one. I lost one. I got. Let's see. Actually, I never buy guns off the rack. So a lot of times, because the human interactions don't work so well, you can go to these kiosks and you can actually buy the stuff here. You can also sell stuff back. So like, I have stuff in my ship and like water and apples and what have you. I can actually sell that here. Not all of it. So you have to go around to different locations and you can get different prices depending on where you're at. But like, so. And this is one of the things that really irritates me about the bug of not being able to turn the chat off is because I can't see this part here. So what I want is personal weapons, and I have to kind of read it through the damn text. So that's pretty standard pistol. And this is glitching a bit, so the picture's not showing, but that's fine. Buy one. Now I like the fact that the magazines are considered attachments. There we go. And because I don't do combat at all, I buy 3 just in case. More likely than not, I'm just going to lose it. Let's see. Where did it end up? I think it's in my ship. Just one. It's definitely not on me because I have no room in my pockets. Alright, so that's the mall here. And like I said, and then there's like the trade location and there's some stuff up there, but let's go on here. There is also a lot to tour at this city, and it's that way with any of the cities, is there is a lot to explore and walk around and witness and experience. You can spend a lot of time. In fact, you end up having to spend a lot of time because you'd be looking for, say, hey, like I need to do some trade. I need to sell some of the stuff that I have loaded on my ship, and you have to walk around the entire damn thing looking for the stupid place to be able to the trade and development locations or the admin office, or trying to figure out which one it is. It's like, yeah, I don't want that one.
The
I want
next
this
shuttle
one.
is approaching the station.
Just trying to see if they had one, because I have to. There is a direct shuttle, or if I have to take this one.
The next shuttle is approaching the station.
But the timing is good, and this will work. So, getting around the different cities, they have each have, usually they're like subways, transit. So
Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart.
you can see sometimes sitting is even a pain in the butt.
Please clear the hatch.
So
Shuttle will be
because this is a
departing.
cloud city, you actually have to take these like transport shuttles to get around, as opposed to like trams. Yeah, I chose as my home base because A, it is a pain in the ass to get in and out of, which keeps a lot of other people out. But two, it's pretty. It's real pretty. And so we're gonna stay. Well, actually, let's get up for this one. Show you around this one really quick.
This platform will be undergoing
Approaching next station. If this is your stop, please prepare to disembark.
and vibration. Please use caution. Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart.
Okay, and
The next shuttle is approaching
stuck a
the
little
station.
bit. Yep, I was just gonna say I'm glitching.
Stand by for platform elevation.
Dang it.
Last call for
Come on.
passengers. The shuttle is preparing to
Crap, well, I guess I'm not stopping there. Still thinks I'm in the seat. Yeah, so this is what we talk about with the aspect of this, beautiful game, yeah, being finished. I mean, granted, some of this is associated with the fact that the game is, it's still early access. Dang it, come on.
Approaching next station. If this is your stop, please
I
prepare
don't want to ride this
disembark.
forever. I may have to backspace out.
Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart.
See how far away I can get before
Please
it
clear
pulls
the
me back.
hatch.
Ah,
Shuttle
come on.
will be departing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to die a horrible death. Luckily, the gun I bought's not on my person, but I'm in the city, so it's not a big deal. When you die in the city, you keep all your stuff. When you die someplace else, you lose all your stuff. That's one of the things that's kind of been a rub with me in the whole setup of the game is like, there is some, I have lost a good 100,000 plus credits due to game glitch. So we're gonna take this gun, we're gonna throw it on the ground here, and we're gonna put our clothes back on. No, really open. So when you die, you spawn in the hospital. You can also, if you're getting hungry or if you're getting injured, you can go to the hospital and get cured. You can, you got med packs and everything like that. They've introduced medical, not just recently in the game. So the hospital elevators can be a little buggy. I've been, there's one hospital, I think it's at New Babbage. I have been launched outside so many times from just trying to exit the hospital through the elevator. And they have a little pharmacy where you can get like med pens and stuff like that. I've got all I need.
General station, where better health is within reach.
So now this is the frame rate is being a little pokey right now. This is, I will say, might be associated with the Expo server traffic, but a lot has to do with the fact that this city is just laggy. You know, my frame rate's coming through mostly fine right now. I'm not really crushing my CPU at all. I'm not going to sit down this time. Dang it, I just missed it. Bruh. Minute. Ugh. Yeah, so there's just a lot of detail that's going on with this city, and particularly when you're flying through it, it will chug pretty hard. And what I mean by, and I'll actually wait until I'll show you, when you it's a hard system to get to, it's a hard system to leave. It's not that hard to leave, but man, is it hard, because to you finding the landing hangars is, you have to kind of memorize where everything is kind of laid out, because you don't have a whole, it's just, it's very hard to kind of to figure out just innately. Like when you pull into New Babbage, you can see it says spaceport on it, you know. And even with what was the other one, Lauraville City, big sign says spaceport on it. Area 18 and this one,
Please clear the hatch.
Area
Shuttle will be
18,
departing.
it's not that difficult. It's a loud city as well, so they can get a little laggy. It's just the approach is because it's a city planet, you know, like Coruscant and Star Wars, and you gotta be really careful flying in and flying out of it, just because you can slam into a building no problem. You know, this one is, it's just you can't, it's, everything starts to look similar, you can't remember what's what, you know. You're trying to kind of do things from memory. Like I can find this location, but this isn't the spaceport.
If
This is
your
the
stop, please
province
prepare to
location,
dismount.
which is just really it's another
For passengers, the shuttle is preparing to depart.
it's more of a kind of a showcase, you know. So you have your you know, Crusader Discovery Center, which shows you like, you know, different more ships and stuff like that. It doesn't actually have ships on display, like full size. They have like miniatures of them, and you got your swag store. So if you're a big Crusader fanboy, you can get your swag and stuff like that, and
Hi.
snacks.
Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
You can get your little plushie thing, if you want. So might have to buy it up front. But yeah, so you can go up here, and you can actually, so the whole point of this city is it's actually it's a manufacturing location for large starships. Yeah, so this is where all of their large, their big and small ships are being built. And so here's another trade location, trade and shipping location.
Maintenance manager Joe, you need it at the
And let's see if I can get it on the first try. I usually have to walk through a couple of things. So this way. And like I said, you'll spend a ridiculous amount of time just kind of walking around. Here, alright, cool. Got it on the first try. So I think Cousin Crow's, this is where you can buy like parts for your ships. So the, I always want to say jump drives, but they're the, let's go over here. Come on. So you've got your vehicle weapons, paints, systems, and miscellaneous systems. There's coolers, power plants, quantum drives, that's it, and shield generators. So you can swap those out in your ship. And there's actually, like, in your F1 menu, you can actually you can select your ship and then change the loadout. So in other words, like, you know, the Aurora MR is what a lot of people end up with first. So you can look at your ship and then you can open up the systems, and so there's the coolers, power plant, quantum drive, and the 2 shield generators. But this is a place you can do that, but you can see they're like building and repairing, you know, ships, and that's a usable ship right down there. But this isn't one of those just walk around games, so it's, you know, although a lot of people just play so there's a separate, this is the persistent universe. There's a separate one. It's the Squadron Commander, which is, a lot of people say, is a good training one. It's not my jam. I don't want to fly around and shoot things. I want to fly around and do things and explore things. So for me, it's really lame and boring. Let's see, over here. So we're heading off to space. Oh, come on, timing. Run, Billy, run!
Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart.
Please clear the hatch. Shuttle will be departing.
You are now free to proceed as normal.
So now we'll head off to the spaceport. Now, one of the things is that there's a lot of different ways to play. You can play as a bounty hunter, you can play as a fighter, you can play as a, you know, criminal, you can play as a, you know, mercenary, you know, you can play as just a, like, my jam's always been freight hauler. That's what I like doing. And freight hauling, exploring, it's just like you're exploring via freight hauling, you know, where it's just like hauling freight to exotic places. And that's, you know, kind of how I liked playing Elite Dangerous. It's like I didn't want to, you have to do combat, and same with this game, you have to inevitably do combat, but I really just want to kind of like fly around and make money for doing it.
Providing connections to all major platforms.
So we're in the spaceport. You can see, you know, they're
The shuttle is
got a
preparing to
big
depart.
display and stuff like that. It's kind of like done like an airport, expansively. The secondary purpose of this city is tourism, so it's a manufacturing place, but because it's such a pretty place, it's also big on tourism. You can actually take shuttle tours of the city in the game. I've done one. But look at that, like, you have, you know, smoke coming up through the vents. How cool is that? And as I said before, this is like, if I still had my can, you know, it's just like, they're all 100%, but I feel like you tried to throw something away, you know, I've tried to throw it in there and I've missed horribly so many times, but I keep practicing. And then you always have to walk through the maze, and it takes you a lot of times going through these things before you figure out, you know, what's the way to go. right here. Traveler, this is where you can actually, if you lose your ship and you don't have a ship or something like that, you can actually rent ships here. So you can go, here is
Hi,
use,
welcome.
and you can select a manufacturer, and you know, this is all manufacturers. So for 15,000 credits, you can rent this ship for a day. So you can rent this one for 5,000. So I mean, the price is ranging. You know, this one you can get the Aurora for 2,000, and depending where you're at, you can get a ground transport for 500 for the day. You know, and all depends on what you're doing. In fact, actually, like some people actually, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there about like how to make like a lot of money in the game. And one of the things they do is you go do a couple basic missions, get some cash, go rent rent these 2 vehicles, go here, do this whole a lot of mining, and fly that back, and then and do a trade. And it's I've actually been meaning to do it. It's on my list. I haven't done it yet. Let's see. All right. What are we doing? Yeah, we're going through here. So, Whammers is a popular chain burger joint. So something to look for if your character's getting hungry. Elroy's is a slightly finer establishment for eating, located in a few different places. But here's where the hangars. So the first thing we do is we go up to this handy dandy fleet manager here, touch the start, and this will list all your vehicles. I have 2 at this location. My Aurora entry level. I have 3 Auroras, and why I have 3, I cannot tell you. Just game restarts and hashes and things and stuff, and I ended up with 3. I have my Argo Raft. You can't see it through the text here. And then I have an Anvil Hornet. But I keep my Argo Raft here for other things. But we'll retrieve this Aurora.
Stand by.
And you can hit a claim ticket and bring it to whatever station that you are. You just have to wait for it to be delivered.
Keep track of all personal effects, follow all safety announcements, and report any concerns to Crusader Security. Together, we can set your visit on the right
Oh, this is
course.
being a little pokey. This is something that will happen when the server does get when the servers are busy. Is it'll take a while for your vehicle to be delivered because there are only so many hangars.
2955 marks the centennial anniversary of the first orbital platform built on Crusader. Join us in celebrating 100
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Hangar 7. So this is the big thing that I find is a little bit tricky about this game. Is it says, okay, Hangar 7. So now I have to go to this elevator and I have to remember Hangar 7. So I call the elevator. And yes, it's happened before where I have forgotten what hangar I've in. And you have to scroll down here and find Hangar 7. And hope that you remembered what it is. And then there's other like cities where there's a lot of things you have to walk through to get to the hangar, and it's really easy to forget. And here's our base level flying machine. So we press our F key and we can just open the door, or just open the ladder, or we can just enter the ship, which will do all the animation parts for us. Not a whole lot to it. Got a bed in the back you can lay down in. And you got a cockpit you can get into. One of the, oh, I didn't want to get into it. Hit the Y key to hold down the Y key to get out of the cockpit. The reason why I didn't want to jump in the cockpit just yet is so that I can show you that you can look at the inventory, and also so I can change my clothes. Usually I do it in the spaceport where there's some lockers, but I was walking through really fast. But if I go to vehicles, this is all the stuff that's loaded into it. So you can see the gun in the clips that I purchased. I'm going to throw those over here so I don't forget. along with you. Probably you too. Rest of this I'll keep in there. This is all, actually, no, I want these in here. No. So, everything that's in this local tab stays here at the station. This is basically your station storage. When I go to another station, it won't be there. It's here. It's in this town. One of the things you, early on, you have to figure out is your inventory management. So, there's an inventory on the ship, there's an inventory in your person, and there's an inventory local. The thing about the inventory local is that it's stationary to the station, so you can have stuff all over the place, and I'll show that in a bit, but we'll wait until we're out and flying. And where's my backpack at? Oh, that's right, I lost it. Let's see what helmet. We're gonna use this one helmet. I like it. It's kind of Guardians of the Galaxy looking kind of thing. Gun, clips, and yeah, that should do it. All right. So, and I'm gonna take this with me. And I'm going to take these 2 modules that go with it. So I'm going to want these. And I got some water and I got some fruit, so we got some food. And yeah, I better take that with me. And maybe that with me. Actually, no, I want these in. Just in case. Alright, so yeah, and the rest of this can stay here. This is my spare helmet, spare suit for when I die. They don't have to buy another one. Because all this stuff is essentially, most of my flight suit is stuff I've looted, and you might see that in a bit here, but let's now get into our, now that we're suited up, get in our cockpit. Now, a lot of times this, when you first get in, it'll be shut all the way off. You want to hold down the R key and it'll turn everything on. And it'll turn everything on. When I park my ships, I generally just turn the engine off because that way the shields are already on. I'm low on, it's got a warning on my fuels state, so I'm going to hit F1. I'm going to go down to the little wrenchy thing. And I'm going to fuel up my ship and do a little repair. Alright, so hit F1 again, so we're all fueled up. Now I'm gonna, so normally to call to get, to be able to leave, you would go to Comlink, you go to, I believe it's Global Chat, or, I don't know, I found it too confusing, and so you can keybind the request for a request for landing, request for launch to a key, and an unused key was the F3 key. So I bound that to F3. So I hit F3.
You are clear to launch.
And now I'm clear to launch, and the door will open. Space bar up to get a little bit of height going. Now I'm gonna, once the primary gates, now the secondaries are starting to move in, and I'm gonna slowly inch my way out of this bad boy. Now I'm still doing mouse and keyboard on this because I haven't hooked up my HOTAS yet because I'm doing a relayout of my keyboard area and everything like that, so I haven't messed around with it yet.
Thank you. And please visit
But
again.
it works okay. The big thing is how the steering works. It doesn't You have to center your mouse to go forward, and if you notice, if I slide it, it like drags the nose over. But if I just move it, it'll just keep moving until I center it back. Same if I go that way. So let's get out of here. So this is what I was talking about. Like, this is a system that not everybody likes, because you have to basically point up, and you're going to be flying for a while to get out of here. So I'm going to boost it up. So first thing I did was I hit the C key, which is essentially cruise control, which sets you to whatever Z here, and right around here you see there's this red square and this red line and this blue line, and it will set it to where that red square is, which is, the speed is 139 meters, and that's set, so when you hit C, it will put it up and it'll stay at that. I can adjust that speed by the scroll mouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll this up to where it's 300. I'm going to hit and to bring up my landing gear.
Landing gear raised.
So I have it at a 7-degree up angle, and I'm just kind of cruising. And so this is going to take a while, because to break atmosphere from here, we're going to start at around 80,000 meters, and we're not going to break atmosphere until about 150 meters. 150 kilometers. Excuse me. So we've got a ways to go. So this is a good time to hit the F2 key. It brings up my star map. Another way to do that is you can do the F1 key to your Mobi glass, and then you can go down here to Skyline, and you're going to bring it up. And so we're going to, for our first jump, we're going to go and we're going to check out the Stanton system. Particularly Hurston and set route, and then when we get there, we're gonna go to Laurelville. Not Edmonds. So navigating this has been challenging. There we go. That should do it. Okay, cool. So Hurston to get us to the planet, Laurelville to get it. So sometimes you're gonna have to do these multiple jump routes. So that's all programmed in. So we'll hit F1, F2 to get out. You'll start to see a circle there. We're already at 111K. And so the reason why you don't leave your thrust all the way up in that area is you notice it gets really hard to steer when you're going this fast. So that you only want to like scroll up when you're on a heading, because it's hard to steer. Subsequently, you can also scroll down to slow yourself a bit. Yes. Thanks, Jingle. Yes, it is kind of neat. I'm gonna see if I can, in my usual 3-hour window, see how many of these systems I can hit. It is a bit of a challenge. Alright, we're gonna spin up our drive, and we're gonna point our crosshairs in that. And we're just gonna sit and wait for it to stop saying exit atmosphere, which will take a while. Have I been playing long? No. As I was saying at the beginning of the stream, this is like, I probably have at best 40 or 50 hours. I don't know if they have, I gotta see if there's a way to, if they've got an hour tracker somewhere like they do in Steam. But yeah, for those who don't know, this is a non-Steam game. You have to get it direct. Come on. Yeah, it's more of this stream's more of kind of like putting some video in so that I have it, so that I can play around with editing it, also to show some of my friends who haven't played it, to show them what it looks like. Yeah, I've done mostly training. I don't do bounties. I don't do bunkers. Mining is on my list. I'm not much of, it's one of the things I say, I'm not much of a combat person. I kind of hate it. It's one of those necessary evils. It seems that everybody wants to, and you know, with the griefers and everything out there. The best one was I had when I was playing yesterday. I was doing a delivery at one of the outposts, and some dude came in, was shooting my ship, you know, firing on my ship, and I don't know if he just forgot to turn his cruise control off or whatnot. He just crashed into the platform, and then his body was just laying there, and it's just like, my ship was fine, and because I had my shields on, and he just kind of he just like dead laying on the platform and was like, yeah, sure, I'll loot you, I don't care. Should be breaking atmosphere here in a few thousand meters. So like I said, that's why I like the Orison city, but and a lot of people would hate it is because it takes so long to get in and out. No, I have not been to jail yet. It's one of those things where it's like I'm gonna hold down the B key, which is gonna put me into boost. Now I can talk because this is gonna take a while. Yeah, I haven't been to jail yet. It's again, it's one of those things on the list. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of hours in this. I just want to kind of. And this is probably not a great video for people, a stream for people who have played, because it'd be like, why are you doing that, man? You know, it's been, you know, like everybody knows how to do that or whatever. It's just like, hey, and you know, I just, this isn't my jam. I have most of my time spent in playing like Space Engineers and what have you. But I did want to kind of give a look-see, and I wanted to put some video down and to play around with. But yeah, this was one of the kind of drawbacks. This reminds me of like why, like in Space Engineers, if you're streaming Space Engineers, like why you always try to avoid long jumps in Space Engineers, because it's like just one jump, one full jump is like 7 minutes long in Space Engineers, and in this it's about as long, if not longer. And it's just like, what can you do? And it's one, you can just sit here and you just hit the Moby glass and you just be like, well, I guess I'll just read through the journal. Let's check out the commodity prices while we're just sitting here with our thumb up our butt. This is what I was like saying earlier. This is what kills me if you're a big trader person like me, you know. And it's just like, now the distilled spirits, this overstock, cool, 420. So I might see if someone's, you know, got an understock somewhere. But plasma fuel, everybody is always overstocked. It's one of those things that if I actually saw someone who is understocked on plasma fuel, it would last a hot second. Like, there's somewhere the sell price is 0. That's good. Yeah, processed food. I've done that one. See, so you have understock price of 150 here, and where was that last one? An overstock price at 120. So you can make, you know, 30 cents on the unit, or on the AUC, you know, for on that one. So on volume, you know, you can get there, but it's a volume thing. You know, doing it with this Aurora that's got, you know, 3 SCU is not quite gonna cut it. I mean, like I said, it's just like I might maybe make like 100 credits, but I'm gonna spend that in fuel. Not even accounting for time. Yeah, a lot of what I have been doing just right now to just kind of maintain while I'm, you know, maintain cash while I'm doing stuff is just doing the delivery mission. So you go over, you know, your contracts manager, and you go up here, and then won't do the bounty ones, and I won't do the mercenary ones, but when you're in a city area, you can get you know, different ones for like delivery and stuff like that. So it doesn't show my history at all. Probably just per session. Then another thing you can so that's why I have like a status with like some of these carriers, is because it's just I've been doing runs with them. How are we doing? Ah, we're getting there. Nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Arc Raft, not because it's got like a large capacity, just because I saw the ship and like just like scrolling, you know, going, you know, internet, you know, black hole, rabbit holing, you know, and I saw, oh, Star Citizen with some new ships. Oh, and I saw the raft, and it's like the ship that I've always wanted. Like, it's the perfect size. It has all the kind of crew quarters and everything like that. The only problem is it's been a little bit buggy. All right, so we made our first drop, and we can start lining up for our second one. It's over here. Yep. Get up here and start spooling. So once it's spooled, then we hold on our B and we can head off into our next city. So one of the things I want to do is before I get too close, I want to remember to scroll down my my cruise control, because I got my cruise control set real high. And navigating through here is going to be a bit tricky. So as you can see, I scrolled down, and once I get it into the top of the normal range, it turns blue, and then my maneuverability is a little bit better. So I'm just going to shut that off. Now, normally you want to leave that on just because you'll be able to kind of target where that is, even though it's got red and stuff like that. But if you've flown here a few times, you kind of start... This is one of the ones where you can actually see where the spaceport is. Unlike with Orson, you'll want to leave this on. You will not find it. In fact, actually, the pointer points to the city center, not the spaceport. And so even with that left on, you still end up flying around a lot trying to find the location. But I like having all the garbage off my HUD. The question is, what side of the big tower are we on? I think we're on... Yeah, okay, so that's the spaceport right there.
You are clear.
So I F3 to request permission to land. That audio has been bugging out
Please
recently.
proceed to assigned landing bay.
So you'll see the blue down arrow with a circle on it. That's our landing bay. But one of the things is, like I said, you can see, because you can see like the patterns of all the bays and stuff like that, and you have the holographic sign saying spaceport on it, so it makes it pretty easy to see where the spaceport is, where in some locations it's not so obvious. So I'm gonna turn my cruise control off so I'm on throttle for this last little bit. Sure not to hit the sign. I have thankfully not done it yet, but I have seen videos of other people who have. Just bringing in. This is a nice one. This is a nice oversized hangar bay, way too big for this ship, so it should be pretty easy to bring it in. Now, if you're a person who plays a lot of Space Engineers and you come into this game, you'll either A, want to really make it a point that your left control is down, not the C button. And Space Engineer, C is down, and and in this game it's your cruise control. So what will happen is when you're expecting to go down, all of a sudden your ship thrusts really fast forward. Now let's put hit in and get my landing gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
Down, and we're gonna try to keep it as level as we can. Just kind of ease our way down here. On the deck, and then I usually swing it back and forth to make sure we're landed.
Pleasant stay.
While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead, so I don't forget, I'm going to go in and fuel back up. Except for it's bugging out, so I'll have to do it later. It's saying that I'm no service required. Yes it is. But I'll have to do it later. Alright, so let's take a look around town. So you'll notice that there, it'll just say open door or it's open ladder. Sometimes you have to kind of move your cursor around to find where it'll actually say exit. Or you can just do it all manually. And actually, yeah. With these, the only downside of these bigger hangars is you can't remember which end you're supposed to get. Is the way to get out. Actually, I think with the bigger ones, it might be on both sides. I'm not sure. Over here, call elevator. We're gonna go to the spaceport. So, Laravel is kind of the more industrial, not as industrial as some of the other ones, and in some of the actual space stations and spaceports as the cities go. Oh, God dang it. But it will look a bit, you know, industrial, I guess is the term. So the big thing, and what they say, there's no maps for the cities. You have to read the signs. So customs area, mass transit, lost and found, concierge. So we're gonna head this way. And this is actually one of the areas where I said it's so you'll select you'll get your ship delivered to a hangar on the fleet manager here. Then you've got to walk all the way over here and remember your hangar number until you get over to here, so you can pick the right elevator. So we're gonna head on out of the spaceport here. So jockey through all this. Actually, I'm gonna. I think it's up here. Really, a set of locker somewhere. So that's to the Central Business District, and that's to the Metro. I'm gonna stop over here. So this is what I was talking about. So this is Lorville. So I have clothes here because I've been here before, so I can take all my stuff off. Okay. And I can put the clothes that I keep here on, and now I've got my city walk around clothes. The business district is, so that was was an actual Claire.
Trespassing or attempting to trespass.
So this will
on
take you
train
to the
tracks
business
is a serious
district.
and dangerous offense.
On the business line, which I don't usually go on. I usually go over here to Metro Center.
Do not block doors.
On the spaceport line. The reason being is like you'll see up here. So we're at the Tiza spaceport. So the Central Station goes. So the Commerce line goes to Central Station, which is basically just the Drake, the Hurston Industries like headquarter building, and there's not a whole lot there, but it looks really cool. And then Leavesden Station, which is that, but you can actually. And then the Metro Center, and you can take the spaceport line just to go to the Metro Center because that's generally where everything is at. Leavesden Station is just I think like where the housing and medical and stuff like is, but it's actually reachable by Metro Center by foot anyways. Just okay. No, that's spaceport line. Is that what I want? Yeah. So I missed my train. Now these ones just go back and forth, as opposed to a loop. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. And then what you'll also notice, and it's like how much time I got? 14 seconds. Notice that there's these perimeter lines that go to all these gates, and those gates go outside. And you can, and at those gates are garages where you can launch your rover.
Trespassing or attempting to trespass on train tracks is a serious and dangerous offense.
So like I've said before, this is like every city has its own tram transit system, and they're always different. So you can see this one has the more industrial look. But I mean, scraped up metal floors. I mean, the hard plastic subway seats that you can't sit in. Like, that's the part that is not that you probably don't want to anyways because they're all dirty.
Arriving, Metro Center. Please watch your step when disembarking the train.
So I usually like to stand where I can watch the where I'm going and how much time there's left. And it's just because you got to figure out a place to stand, right? Okay, so this is usually the exit. That's usually the map. So I'll head out this way and through the outdoor.
Welcome to Metro Center. Transfers to the perimeter, spaceport,
So
and industry
you can go up to Leavesden Square from here, or the perimeter lines.
Security reserves the right to search travelers at any time.
Where's the we got out here? No, that's what I'm saying. This is like, unless you, one of the things to do is,
Welcome to Metro
my personal opinion, find a city that is your jam and make that your like anchor port. Like literally just, you know, a lot of people, they start at New Beverage, like I said, it's perfectly good and fine, but you can figure that out. I, being a nonconformist that I am, tend to be like, okay, I got what I need. Now I'm getting the hell out of here, going someplace else. But yeah, you can see it is can be very confusing. It's just a lot of walking around and looking at stuff, but you get out here, and it's a very industrial complex, you know, kind of looking place. But one of the things I like about Lorville is the signage is really good. So there's where the residences are. And so even if you're not quite sure where you're at or where you need to go, if you walk in a direction and then just kind of keep looking out, and security, and then you go over here and it's just like Tammany and Sons. Now, one of the other things to notice is like, see, there's a little train icon, a little clothes icon. The Tammany and Sons is obviously a clothing place. Here's the administration office, which has your trading and shipping consoles. So, yeah. And then there's like this one has the, I think it's Maria of the Heart, something like that, which is their medical facility. Yeah, Maria Pure of Heart. That is an actual player, you can tell, because they're wearing a hospital gown, and they were running. So these look like they're players, but they're most likely NPCs, just because they're just like that guy in particular, because he's just standing there. It's possible he's a player, but first off, one of the things I find is that like actual players usually aren't that clean layouts, you know. It's usually a mishmash of stuff. So yeah, this is the hospital where you have the heart. Maria Pure of Heart. And again, you can, if you say like, okay, Lorville's going to be my anchor location, what you want to do is you want to go in here, and what you're going to look for is something that says something like insurance.
Maria Hurst recognized
insurance.
that
And you go in here, and then you'll have this console regeneration. Touch that, it'll bring it up. It'll tell you where you're currently set, which mine is Orison General, and you can switch it to Maria Pura Heart or the primary residence facility, which is for me is the it is in the Brentworth Care Center. It's in New Babbage, but I'm good where I'm at, so I'm gonna leave it right there. So you just set your regeneration point to here, and you're good to go. When you first start playing the game and you select cities, if you know for a fact that you want to be in one of the other cities, you can select it there, but just better, I think it defaults to New Babbage, and that's just a good way to go. Alright, so you have like the residences, L19, which they're industrial as well. But the only way to see those rooms is that I'd have to change my anchor location, kill myself, and respawn in there. But it's doable. Reclamation and disposal. Now, this is the only one that I've seen in a station. So if you're hauling scrap or waste, you can try to sell it here. And one of the reasons I say try is because you don't have a console here. You only have talking to this guy, and like I said, my NPC interactions have been sketchy at best. So All right. Well, that's Lorville. So let's well, while we got it, let's take a look around. So we're here on this system. We can either go to Ark or we can head back to New Babbage. It might be saying New Babbage for last. Let's head to Ark and show you what I mean by like the pain in the butt landing. It's supposed to be just checking something here because those are like the main planets of the system, but there's also on the website there was like one other like home base that they or main city location that they mentioned, but I don't think it exists anymore, or it's just a space station. It's not an actual city. All right, so Metro Center. Let's go. Quad. No, oh, that's an interesting thing. If you just like touring around, down in there is a production quad, which is just there's not really anything there, but you can walk around and it's like an industrial factory kind of area, and it's kind of cool looking. Like I said, a lot of this I'm doing a very brief kind of walkthrough through these things, but spaceport line. This is all this way because it's blocked off. This is the back door from Maria, from the medical center.
To the perimeter.
The thing that I do to remember for those who go to the city is that when you come out of the rooms and you come out of the elevator, what you want to do is you notice that this is on the right shoulder of the statue. So you'll come from back over there, which is the elevators, and you'll come out and then you'll see the statue. So what you want to do is instead of heading out through the front doors like this, and you want to actually head to here, and then you'll see the sign Metro Center, and that just for when you crash your ship and you get revived and you want to hurry up and get back. It's like makes it a little bit quicker.
Welcome to Metro Center. Transfers to the perimeter, spaceport, and industry lines. Be considerate of your fellow travelers.
Spaceport.
Do not lock doors.
Oh, good timing. 20 seconds. I'm actually doing pretty good. I actually made it through to the first city and
now arriving from
about an hour.
Spaceport. Stand by and let passengers disembark before boarding.
Actually, I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to go to New Babbage first. Because when I go to Ark, that's when I'm going to go through doing one of the, what do you want to call them? Contracts.
Next stop, Tisa Spaceport.
Just because the contract work I have in Ark is I got more options available than I do anywhere else. Actually, let's while we're on the train, this is what I spend a lot of time doing when I'm on the train. Is all right. That's so that's the one in.
Now arriving, Tisa Spaceport. Please watch your step when
We're arriving
disembarking the
now.
train.
I'm trying to remember which one is where, which organization is where. I know them by organization better than I do like their location.
Security reserves the right to search travelers at any time.
There's probably a hotkey to get to this. I don't know what it is. So yeah, Red Wind is the Lorville ones, which I can do here.
Step away from the platform edge when train
The
is approaching.
Ling Family Hauling, I believe, is the ones that are out of the red area, and Unified might be, I think, is in New Babbage.
Now
I'm
arriving
pretty
from
sure
Metro
they're in New
Center.
Babbage.
Stand by and let
But I've been
passengers
doing a
take
lot of
guard
red
before
wind
boarding.
hauling, so. And I have a bad habit of hitting escape because most gamers I know are big fans of just, you know, hitting the escape key once or twice. Generally, also, if you can't figure out your way through a spaceport, look for the customs area because it's always the gateway into the spaceport area. Just checking something really quick. So, those are real players because they're running. There's a good spot. Want to put our gear back on. Oop. So one of the other things that'll happen too is if you get too close to a wall and you can't see your character. So let's get naked. So there's an issue that I was reading about is that, so I guess double clicking on your person used to put it in an inventory, but because you have so many inventories available, they disabled that. But clicking from an inventory onto your person works. So you can just go through and click all these. And then boom, you got all your stuff. So now we're ready for flight operations. And it says we're in hangar 11, so we don't have to go to the fleet manager because I never stored it. Because I'm that guy. So we don't have to deal with the fleet manager. We can go right straight onto the elevator. Curious, I'd like to do a survey. I always tend to go to the elevators to the left. I'm always curious as to what like people normally choose. Let's just, yeah, that's what I was waiting for. This is like, I'm not hitting the elevator, so well, we'll get to see one of the rooms in Lorville because it should spawn me there. Hopefully it spawns me there. Yeah. So this is why I changed the way the screen, instead of just game mode, I had it capture the entire monitor. So when it crashes, and it will, you can see the process you have to go to restart it. Everything was going so well. At least they glitched while, and in fairness, this is one of the things that a buddy of mine was probably talking about. Because of the expo and because there's so many people online right now, it can get, you're going to run into a lot of these like weird connection break issues because there's so many people hitting the servers and it stops talking with the servers. One of the things that bothers me is the if I was to design a game, if I was to write a game, an MMO kind of game that's kind of like this, instead of trying to constantly send data of the state of the character, you know, like what am I wearing and you know, what gear I have on me and stuff like that, which is you set up, or the server has an inventory, an inventory or a state of your character, and it's stored locally, and it doesn't update those until there's a change. And what it does do is that it makes an MD5 hash of your current state. Yeah, so we're in Lorville rooms. So I'm gonna hit Y to get out and install my gear on. So check inventory. That looks good. Except, oh, this is not on me. So we know when we broke connection because it was during me putting all my gear on. That's why. So that's kind of how you can tell sometimes when you've disconnected. And this is what I was getting at. The only time that the server really needs to update is when your character status changes. So if it's a hash of what the character is, and this might be what they do, I don't know, but when the hash changes should be the only time that it has to send that large packet of data to the server. The rest of the time, all it needs to do is send just basically a hash that says, hey, my state hasn't changed. I'm the same as what you thought I was before. And so the only thing it has to communicate beyond that is character location. Alright, so while we're here, we'll take a look at the rooms in Lorville. Like I said, very much an industrial thing, but still pretty roomy. Little basket, little couch, little thingamabobber. And some more thingamabobbers. That's probably like an AC&R unit. And yet your like food tray and really nasty ass towel. And chair and a little bench and microwave and little cardboard sorter deal. These are weapons racks, and they will actually be functional at some point on ships, from what I understand. I have a coffee maker, and you can actually make coffee. So, the only thing is I don't think you can drink it. I've done this before where I've like done it, so I've had it make coffee and then tried to grab the cup highlights, but it doesn't do anything. Normally it's, oh wait, oh, I think I got it now. Oh, must remove my helmet. I didn't realize I have my helmet on. Turn. Okay, now my cup runneth empty. Yeah, content adds to 0. All right, so see if we can try this again. Place. So I learned something while I'm in stream. It is that you have to like make 1 cup of coffee. Lame. All right. Well, at least that worked. All right. Gotta remember to put my helmet back on before I head out. Assuming at some point there will be like, if they do make it so that you can set up a residency in a unit, that you can, well, there's a closet there, you can hang stuff, but they would have like storage over here, so you have your own like storage and everything like that, which would be cool if you could have one of these that, so not only you have a base city, you have a place to return, a physical location to return to and relax and chill. That would be wicked cool. But let's get out of here. I always have a hell of a time getting out of here. Yeah, but even in their like living quarters areas, very industrial, and I like how they like place trash and just garbage all over the place. The detail work on this is always just so impressive. Well, because I had to fully reboot means I have to get my ship out of freaking storage. Hopefully I didn't lose the cargo in it. Not that I have a whole lot of cargo. Things I've learned. Use ships to transport stuff, not to store stuff. Because what will happen is, inevitably, that ship will get wrecked, it will get lost, something will happen with it. When you have inventory in it, I mean, it's great for having inventory and you've got a lot of space. But the first moment you have, get it out of there.
Why not consider calling Audible home?
Yeah.
Residences are available at all price points.
So when I get lost, I generally head towards places I know, like Maria Pure of Heart. Go in here. I know that I can go over here and make my way to the metro center. Spaceport stuff.
In her book, Dynamics of a Mindful Life,
Stand by and let passengers disembark before boarding.
Yeah, so I hope they use that like hash ID or their, you know, like ID tag of some sort, so that the only time where it has to do any kind of like heavy server communication of the, you know, the stuff that it's on, it's like not reporting all the time, like every time you change something. Just when, you know, because, you know, when you're picking stuff up, when you're in an inventory and you're putting stuff on your person or you're putting stuff in inventory, those are a moment. And so it only has to do those like heavy interactions, not during, but at the end. Like once you've finished a state, because you're not like running around and pulling stuff out of an inventory, you know, because the box is usually set. So you're in a console, you're in a box, you're in a whatever, and you're doing that. So when you take your first step, then it can just send it as one large packet with a hash saying this is character state, and then be done. And then just all he has to do is communicate coordinates essentially. But considering how expansive this world is, I'm very curious about how they manage character location. Because a lot of that's what this is. This is like, so all of this is a generated 3D environment. You know, once it's set, it's set. You know, the NPC characters are generated kind of, you know, ad hoc, and you know, it shows because sometimes you'll see them flying off into space and stuff like that. Or like this, just kind of garden. What's going on there? I do not know. Very odd. Oops, I took the wrong turn somewhere. That's like a whole space missing or something.
You are required to comply with all commands. Security and
Central business. Yeah, okay, so come through here. This is like, is this not loading properly? Come through here. What? Okay. happens if I go? Oh, there we go. It's like, what is going on? Frames weren't loading in. Yeah, it's also where I spend a lot of time where I do, is because there's not a whole lot of characters. And I think what it is that the different systems are different servers, because I do notice that I have less of those weird kind of like things like, oops, no, I don't want this. Of course, let me out. I forgot to do this. Because my ship has been put away.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Cool, it was stored.
Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Remember, Hangar 10. Everybody, remember 10. Fin flood, thanks, yeah. Just go ahead and save. Yeah, it's hard to, as you like, you see 3 lights in a deep dark hole, you're like, this can't be good. But thank you. I appreciate it. It's kind of one of those, there's this like leap of faith kind of moments, you know? It's just like, what was it? Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Set 11? God damn. This is what I was talking about before, about like those moments when you like, maybe it was 10? In the process of going from A to B, you forget where you're at. But you can always, yeah, it's hangar 10. We can find the like marker for your ship, and it tells you what hangar it's at. And so, for when you derp, this is always my favorite, when you have one of the large ships, which we saw earlier today, and they park us in the hangars meant for the large ship. So it's just like little tiny ship, really big hangar. What a waste. Hot dog in the hallway. Yep, exactly. Ice cold pits. I bet you'll find this quite hilarious then to watch. Let's see if I can fuel this time.
System check.
Yeah, we can add. It says my quantum's failed though. That's weird. Sure. Yeah, show's full. Okay, cool. Engines are on. Call for exit strategy. We'll head
You are
off to
clear
New
to
Babbage.
launch.
So, if you're concerned of whether or not the doors are open, you hit F4 to go external, and you can push down, hold down the Z key so you can use your mouse to kind of point up and go, okay, yes, the doors are open enough for me to get this tiny, tiny ship out of this really big hangar. I don't know if I'll fit. Oh, it's dark and spooky. Spooky. The shepherds say to the sheep, let's get the flock out of here.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Alright, we're on a good steep trajectory, as we should. Alright, let's figure out what we're gonna do. We're gonna go here, and that's right there. We're gonna go here. Groovy. marker. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna yank it up to about 25-degree angle. I'm gonna scooch this up to about 300 just to kind of get out of atmosphere. Gonna hit B, turn my quantum drive on, get that spooled up. Yeah, as the starter ship goes, I've actually been, I've gotten real comfortable with the Aurora. I tried the other one, the other entry-level ship that I had, which was the Lightning or whatever, or not, the Thunder or something like that. Thunder, Lightning, Everything Frightening, whatever you want to call it. Get on target here.
Quantum drive is now on. Landing gear raised. Quantum drive is now off.
Oh, got a little chunky.
Quantum drive is now on.
So in fairness, and this goes along with it, was actually, you know, for those watching at home, it was Skullbutts who was telling me this earlier that it was getting a little chunky because of all of the Expo traffic. Looking over at my thing, my CPU usage is like 2.9%. So I'm sure my video card's having a day. I don't have that display up. I can bring it up, but I just don't want to. Yeah, so locally it's not getting beat up too much. It's just the server, but it's just like one of those things where, like I said, I think that part of these kind of events are good because it really kind of, it's good to stress out the system, particularly during this period of time. You know, it's a holiday weekend in the US, you know, for the Thanksgiving. So, you know, some people have had a 4-day weekend and stuff like that. So the past 4 days, you know, something like this would probably, you know, particularly when they're doing like, you know, play for free kind of moments, really would test this, you know, is a good way to, you know, stress test the system. It's a really crappy way to treat your staff, and this is like, yeah, I know it's the holidays and all, but what we really need to do is be around to handle all of the like massive amount of glitch garbage that we're gonna, I mean, even if they're not working on it, they still, someone's got to collect it, collate it, and kind of put it. And if they have a, you know, a truly dire thing during their expo, you know, someone's gonna have to jump in and fix it. So it's kind of rude. But it's the best way to stress test something. You get a key, and you get a key, and you get a key. Everybody gets a key. Again, space flight. Sometimes I spend time looking at the little thing and I start trying to do like looking at like seconds clock and trying to do some calculations and trying to determine, it's like, well, how long am I actually, you know, in this? Because it seems like forever, but it's really not that long. And I was doing one contract delivery mission, and you know, like the first one you do takes like forever because you're learning how to do it. And then you get at it and you're like, once you get the routine down, then you start figuring out how to optimize it, you know. So you're like, when can I throttle it up, and you know, when do I need to be more precise, and you know, like what's the minimum amount of garbage I have to shut off when I land at some outpost. Like, I got annihilated I was sitting at some like very obscure outpost, so I wasn't thinking nothing of it, you know. And I picked up a package or dropped it off, one of the two, gotten in my ship, and literally as I sat in the ship, someone started firing on me, and I'm like, oh god. So I'm trying to turn the engines on and push up, and like they hit me so fast, so hard, so fast. And this is like, as soon as I got the engines on, like, I was blown up, and I was like, oh man. And it sucked too, because I was picking up because it was the last on like 3 packages I needed to pick up, and I got the 3rd one, and I got blown up, and I was just like, crap. Yeah, it's also thanks to situations like that where you get blown up. I was one time where I was just like, I was flying and I didn't realize I still had the cruise control on. I thought I was zeroed out, and so I'm just moving the ship around instead of hitting holding down the Z key, so that I can just move my character viewpoint around, and I'm just kind of looking to try to figure out where my next package is. So not only am I going forward not realizing it, I'm also doing it at low altitude and moving my ship at the same time. So literally just out of nowhere crashed into the ground. And that's where I learned how to recover my own cargo from an accident in my body. And I was just like, hey, what's that red thing? Oh, that's my body. And so I quickly jumped into the ship and flew out to that spot. And, you know, I can remember, and I got there and figured out how to recover my own body. It's just like, ugh. Couldn't say nothing about glitch on that. That was 100% me. What's so exciting? We're watching a guy fly through space. One of the things that I don't think is a bug that has to do with the Expo, it has to do with just one of the animation kind of things, is that if I get out of this seat, which I can do, I don't have much distance left. I'll do it on the next jump. I'll show you. If I get out of the seat and I jump back in, this animation will stop. Which is a bit of, you know, it's not a big deal, but it is kind of weird. I figured it out when I was flying my Argo raft around.
Auto drive is now off.
Is this the next spot? That is the next spot. Yeah, now we're gonna start getting chunky because we're going to New Babbage, and New Babbage is where, like I said, where a lot of people are home based, where a lot of people start. So all these like new free-to-play players, this is where they've been hanging out, and that's why I've chose the system to home base that is the farthest away from here.
Auto drive is now off.
Now it's been a couple of days, so now I gotta remember where the spaceport is in there. I think it's over here. Yeah, I just gotta watch that chevron, because that's a ship, and make sure I'm not flying right into one. Might actually be over here. Slow us down so I can maneuver a bit. Ooh. right over it. I usually use the tram tracks to figure it out. Might be over there. It seems like it. Be easier if it was daylight too. Like I said, it's easier to navigate because, like, one, like I said, you can, once you've done it once or twice, you can kind of see it. And two, or at least when it's daylight, you can actually see it says spaceport on it. Surprised that it hasn't been like giving me crap. Pretty much on top of it. Although this might not be the spaceport. This might just be a thing. But usually it doesn't let me get that close to something without like steering me away or telling me to go crazy. I will follow this train track and we'll head back into town. Get a wonderful view of the nighttime city skyline. Yeah, one of the delivery missions, which I thought was really cool, was one where you had to make a delivery onto a landing platform on top of one of these buildings, and I was like, wow, that is wicked cool. What wasn't wicked cool was the high wind that I was dealing with when I was trying to land. It wasn't like a supersized pad, let's put it that way. Well, that's a new chevron, so that generally when a ship's taking off, so I probably went to the wrong side of the town. I went to the wrong side of town, man. We're in the wrong neighborhood. Good thing I got my sidearm with me, man, because we're in the dark side of town. Actually, that's probably it over there. This is very cool. So even in the like far out stages, and it's even good during the daytime too. Yeah, the just the level of detail, like flying your ship around, stuff like that, is actually pretty good. Just wish that chat bug would have, wasn't a thing right now. I think this is the most I've ever flown around here without having the autopilot kicking in. Or at least someone hailing me. Well, let's kick this on and find the new Babbage marker here again. So if I fly right towards that, it's gonna tell me to like screw off. Is it? No. Where are you? There you are. I think why I haven't hit the like where they autopilot you away from stuff is because, as you can see, there's a lot of like I've had a mission where I've had to land on one of the tops of these buildings before, and there's platforms all around it. So there it is. Okay. Can you give me a landing solution here, there, Bob?
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Thank you. I just gotta find it. Around here somewhere. There's the tram. Man, I've flown through here before, but maybe it was over here. keep seeing ships kind of coming in and out. Look for 4 red lights. That's a ship over there. Well, now I'm leaving a restricted area. So this can't be it. Usually I get an arrow that tells me where the hell I need to be. Yes, I'm trying to land and I can't remember where the damn spaceport is because it's dark out. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Thought it was over here, but I'm not seeing the docking arrow. Maybe I'm not close enough. Yeah, it's all that. Okay. That's what I thought, but... There it is. Oh, you only have to be like, you know, 1,000, you know, 1,000 meters or less off of it before you get the actual arrow. Said I did it no problem earlier on because it was daylight. I got cocky. Trying to do this nighttime.
Fuel is at 75%.
But yeah, because I've been flying around like an idiot. Whoa, Nelly. Take a little bit off there. That should be alright. It's all stormy out. Yeah, definitely will be a lot easier once I get my HOTAS hooked back up.
Landing gear deployed.
Well, Finn Flood, thank you. That was a lot of helpful.
Doesn't say.
Consider the fact I had no idea where the hell I was at. Repair one's not that important, but I always click it just cause. Definitely needed that hydrogen fuel though. There we go. Alright. Now, for those, which pretty much isn't anybody, that get this juncture, this is a show you can also access your inventory in your ship, but it's tricky because the ship gets in the way sometimes, but I never put my helmet on. Damn it. Which means I gotta buy a helmet here because I don't have a helmet, and I'll probably want one at some point. But we do have our walking around New Babbage clothes. We still got a lot of stuff in the inventory. Yes. Alright. Alright, well, we got something to do while we're here. We have to go buy a helmet. Again. Would you come all this way from Orson to New Babbage for? Buy a helmet. Now, it's been a while since I've been here, so now if I can remember my way around. I do like New Babbage in that it's very, very clean base. It's but not generic. You know, it doesn't feel like, you know, generic setup. It's you know, it's just clean. Yep, I definitely forgot how to negotiate around here. That's surface entrance. Yeah, I don't understand the little ducky plushies, but I'm sure that's the thing. It's the hangers. Metro. That's what it is. Yeah, okay. It's down and through. Oh, hey, since we're here, we can actually go to the Expo Center. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time there because it's... Oh, one person was like, yeah, I went to... I was watching a chat and one person's like, yeah, I went to Expo Center. It was lame. Well, I didn't do as much as... I didn't think I was going to be able to do a whole lot just because everything takes time, but did get a nice chance to look around and kind of give a walkabout look into Orison, Lorville, and a little bit of New Babbage. I mean, we got a half hour yet. Man, do not glitch out on me. It's happened before. I've gotten stuck in elevators. Keep going up and down, but the door's never open. Oh, I'm getting out. Yay! Spire out, Commons, yeah. So we're going here. Oh, we're catching it! We're catching it! Yes!
Careful, doors are now closing.
That guy's got a pretty decent rig. Now, one of the cool options that I don't currently have on, because I wasn't sure how much it was impacting the server, which is that I think call it facial over IP or something like that. What it does is it uses your camera and it tracks your face movements and transposes them onto the character, which I thought was pretty slick. And it's what's really weird is it's on by default. So when you have it on, cool, but when you turn it off, and I don't know if it's still doing it, let me see.
The capsule will be leaving the station momentarily.
Okay, it's not. Before, my character was constantly opening and closing his mouth for some unknown reason. Alright, let's go. Helmet. Gonna go buy a helmet. So, what I like about New Babbage is it's, once you get to the commons, it's not overly confusing. It will be at first, and then you realize it's just one long line. And you just walk up and down it until you find what you're looking for. So you come out of here and you come to the yoga mat area. And there's supposedly a rock climbing wall somewhere here. And then you got like the sandwich place and maybe it's on the other side. Then you have, oh, there it is, the rock, it's a rock climbing wall. I haven't tried it yet though. Surface entrance, but it's mega cold out there, so you want to make sure you have like the best cold weather gear ever. This reminds me of, if everyone's ever been to Chicago Metro it's Metro Airport. They have like a little promenade like that. It's when I walk through there, it always reminds me of whether or not I forgot my sunglasses or not. And then you have this area where you have, like I said, Whammers, which is like a chain. Oza and Apparelli. Apparelli is a clothing shop. Oza is a restaurant that I've never been able to, I think it's not a functional thing yet. I think it's supposed to be like a reservation sit down kind of place, but I haven't been able to use it. And then there's just like the bar, and then there's just like different seating and dance club areas and up around there. But this is not what we want. We're on a mission. So we're just gonna head back the other way, just on the other side. I like how the lighting also changes depending on what time of day it is too, which is helpful because you have this kind of low light, you know, orangish yellow lighting during nighttime, and then it's much more brighter and vibrant during the daytime, which gives you like one, a context of what time of day it is, much like, you know, so you don't feel like you're in a casino. Two is that it just shows that there's a, you know, there's Elroy's, like I said, there's another chain place. Gives you a sense of time. That lady's been standing there the entire time I played this game. Let's see, Subin's Interstellar. So center mass is a place to get guns. This is a good place to get gear, and a lot of people actually steer you to here. I'm going to put it, I'll just put it in the new Babbage location. I can't have it on my person because I don't have big enough pockets. I need armor, helmets. Selection is kind of weak. I'll just go the straight horizon. Alright, we still got some cash. As the experienced players will know, it's just like I'm getting by on scrapings, which I have been for a while. You have Omega Pro, which is weapons sales, and MT Planetary Services, which will handle your trade stuff. Go over to Center Mass. Center, you know, it's good to kind of start getting familiar with some of the names of places, at least like places like Center Mass and stuff like that, because they're gonna be like Center Mass is in a lot of places that where you can get ship guns and personal guns, so you can come up and what was it? Thought it was.
We just got a few new items in, so make sure to check them out.
Yeah, there it is. Thought it was up over on top, but you can come up here, and then you can either get. So I'll just say new Babbage, and so I can get vehicle weapons. You can't see because of the chat. Personal weapons are miscellaneous, so you can get like med pens, but personal weapons you can even get attachments, which are not just magazines. They're actually like you know, suppressors, magazine, and most of them are magazines, but batteries. Supposed to be some like upgrades, like scopes, scope upgrades, you know, things like that. Okay, so we got our helmet. Cool. Not really cool. I've sold so many helmets, so having to buy one just makes me kind of sad. I mean, I have 2 of them sitting back in. Well, I got one sitting in Orville now, or Lowville, and 2 in Orison. Alright, so that's, you know, and essentially, like I said, the new Babbage will seem confusing at first, but then you realize it's just a big line, and you're just going up and down it, and there's like circle spots every so often, but for the most part it's pretty simple. So normally you would take this and it would take you to the hospital and residential areas, basically where you spawn, but during the expo there's an extra stop in place.
Nearing next stop.
I wonder if they're going to leave it there. Seems silly just to put it in place. So yeah, the Tobin Expo Center. I'm curious if this is a permanent structure. So just so you can kind of see here, so you have the Interstellar Spaceport, and then you come out, and then we move into the Commons. We're now at the Tobin Expo Center, then it'll loop around to Aspire Grand. Like I said, that's going to be the medical center and respawn areas. So yeah, alright.
For your convenience, a selection of beverages and tasty snacks are available for purchase in the...
Let's head on to the Expo for a few minutes.
Are available direct from one of our local providers.
That's creepy. Every so often you'll walk up to a thing and all the NPCs are standing in one spot and they're all lined up perfectly. And you're like, what is going on here? Oh, this reminds me. I wanted to... I don't know if I still can. Is that RSI? Bought myself a... oh, cool. I still have them. The Argos. Because I'm a fanboy of my Arc Raft. I do fanboy buying the hat. I don't buy the t-shirt because I'm so over t-shirts now, man. Alright. So that's a Metro Loop. Or is this yeah, so this is, we gotta take the elevator up to the display areas. Now I forgot what I hinted. And there's another crash. I'm perfectly okay with these crashes happening, and I expected them when I came to New Babbage, just because, like I said, is like it's expected with a high load of people on the servers. It's when I get out into the verse, as they call it, you know, like Orison, and it's like when it happens, it's actually kind of surprising because there's like not a whole lot of people out there. So much like what I do with my space engineer streams, I will be posting this. Oh, we get to actually see the birthing in here. Can I just drop a gun? What's going on? There's a gun floating in this bed. It's magic. It's not my gun. So anyway, so here's the new Babbage birthing that you'll start out in. Again, much along the same lines with the rest of New Babbage, which is very clean, very elegant wine glass. Thank you very much. Closet. Nice little shower bathroom combo area, which may or may not have a switch for. There we go. I like the fact that like some of these things you can actually like use. A little storage thing there. Your little sink there. Got the pot here, and can close it. And this would be your like shower thing. And the funny thing is like you see this and it's like, oh, you know what? If there was a hotel room that would be set up like this that I could stay in, I would do it hardcore just for the novelty of it, just because it would be just so cool. Because it's like a full, I mean, this is like a full apartment's worth of stuff, but I mean, the space efficiency on it is ridiculous. It's amazing. You know, you think about it. You got your sink, you got your shower, bathroom, stall, stuff everywhere. You know, with decent vents and heating and stuff like that, you can keep like smell down and stuff like that. Because like, what more space do you need? And you know, and all this, and closet, shelves, gun rack. So everyone needs a gun rack. You know, probably some storage in there. Efficiency. It's beautiful. I mean, it's like. Some people would be like freaked out by the crampness of it. I would just be like, oh, I want to stay here forever. Let's see if I can get stuck in the. I don't understand. I understand that the elevators are used to transition between like environments, probably even servers. But man, it's just like. This is the one area where you don't want it to be too buggy, and this is the area where I run into the most bugs is in elevators. At least from the load. From the server load anyway. Like there's just some glitchiness that you have in like ships, and that's just kind of it happens. In through the outdoor. Spacesuit, dude. Nice haircut. This is why I like to wear. I have dress clothes in every one of the cities, so that I'm not running around in a spacesuit. Because I just thought it was. For me, it's weird. Put a spacesuit on when you go to space. You wear regular clothes and you're just doing regular stuff. Now, I'm always curious because I watch other people play, and I generally get on and I get to a point where I can see the status and I can see the doors, and then I pretty much stay there, or I'll check my Moby glass for stuff. But I've seen people, they're just moving around. It's like, what are you doing? You just flipping your buttons around while you're waiting because you just can't stand still. Oh, this guy's doing pretty good. He's in the I'm too sexy pose. Yeah, as you can tell, I did the quick 5-second, like, I didn't do just random. I spent a little bit of time, but not a whole lot. But, like, in theory, I think that if you spend enough time, you can get your character to look just like you. I mean, it's that level of detail in that character creation screen. Unfortunately, I think you can do it in the opening scene. I haven't really figured out how you go back to do it, but... Alright, let's see if we can glitch out again. There we go. And what do we got today? Oh, RSI and Best in Show. Let's do Zenith Hall then. You get to go where I'm going, dude, because you didn't push the button. Sorry about your luck. Nice gear, though. Yeah, the anvil stuff, I've actually been looking at it. Yeah. The Crusader Mercury Star Runner, that's the one that I'm actually going to start when I start grinding on this game hardcore. That's what I'm going to be working on. I'm a fan of this ship. Although this thing is pretty damn baller too. So admittedly, I agree. This is, you know, for a large ship, this is the jam, man. This is you can drive anything into this sucker. You've got tons of space. Taking the service ladder because I know that other guy went through the other way. Remember correctly, the way this works is like this is like a secret service area. But yeah, you've got your own landing, you know, so you can have your small shuttlecraft land on your big shuttlecraft. I mean, that's some baller stuff right there. And then, you know, there's the elevator. Got like a little repair area here. Escape pods. The bridge, spacious as hell bridge. So 2 sitting consoles, standing console for flying with full like 270-degree view. This thing is kick ass. So, some quick service elevator action as well. So this is what they need to do on, oh yeah, that's right, this is the one that has the upper bridge and lower bridge. Yeah. So yeah, you have like the lower bridge, and I believe these are gunner turrets. And you have all your servers. This is like your medical facility, I believe. captain's quarters. Might be captain's quarters because this is like a really nice big bathroom and, you know, a nice little bunk area. Yeah, I believe this is the captain's. Definitely the captain's quarters. That's gnarly. Then you have like a large crew wreck area, or actually, you know, galley wreck area. This thing is, that's metal right there. And then you have like a sterilizing section. Container medical area. It's like so killer. Scanning area. Med beds. Doctor's office. Oh, this thing is the shit. I've actually watched a video of like someone doing a review on this, and it was just like, yeah, no, this is, you've got to, I mean, there's probably some downsides to it. There are some downsides to it, but I mean, you got to work at finding them. Hab deck, technical deck, technical deck. Oh yeah, this is the one that have the cryptography deck too. Yeah, so that's the other side of the. Oh, that's how you get in the hangar bay. That's so cool. Starboard turret. Kind of like a engineering control station. Engineering, which has its own elevator for upper and lower engineering. And a ladder. This thing is the shit, man. Probably costs an arm and a leg and some alternative body parts as well. Port turret. Now the question is, can we get the hell out of here? It's likely crew quarters down below. It's bad when the ship's so big you can get lost in it. Cargo bays, probably. Or you can actually probably park rovers in too, because it looks like they have cargo doors on it and tons of space that you could roll a vehicle in and out of. I don't know how that would work, but it's cargo, yeah. So, well, that's 2 bays. That's 3 bays. Man, some weapons lockers, some suit lockers. Aft turret. Way aft turret over there. This is probably the elevator down into the. Oh, you can go up to the car tab. We're at sub deck. Let's go to hab deck.
This is last year.
Yeah, I've seen all this, but it's just like, alright, where's... Does the crew not get to sleep in this bad boy? So that's Captain's room. You get to play, but, you know, sleeping's not allowed. I just really want to I want out. Thought I could get it on the sub deck. I'll be able to do it this time. Half turret. Cargo home. Let's get you into the cargo pod. Handy, I guess. Docking collar. Let's do the old fashion where you jump out the docking collar. There, I couldn't figure out how it. Oh, it's out the front. Anyway, that's a big one. This is the one that I'm seriously considering saving all my out for you. I bet I've toured this one. So I can take this little elevator up. There is actually a service ladder, so 2 server racks. We have, which I believe are gunner seats. Yeah. This is turret up, turret down. This takes you to, there's the hab, so this is where the crew sleeps. There's a light switch over here. So you got some desks, and you got some racks. 3 racks here, so probably some hot swapping. This is where the bathrooms are going to be, but I never figured out. There it is. Fixes the switch problem that it had at the other one of the other ships, is where they had the switch right in the front, and then it's just stayed there. So and then you have the rec area. So when all 3 racks are taken, you can sit in here and wait to sleep. I say that because the fact is like that's the only berthing in here is those 3 racks that I have seen. No separate one for that. But so there's 2 seats here. And you figure you got so pilot, co-pilot. So that makes sense. You had 2 gunner seats. You know, so that's 4 people. But I mean, on an active ship, you're never going to have all 4 people. But you know, I don't know if a crew of 4 is scanning. Yeah, saying there's another one in here for scanning. Not sure what that's all about. Oop. Did I make it through the door without dying? Betcha. But yeah, it's like So there's 5 locations, 5 seating spots. So you're definitely hot swapping those racks. This is just a side cargo area. It's probably also like an engineering access area too. But you got enough room in your cargo area you can pull a full-size rover into. So it's very much an all-in-one kind of ship. Yeah. Want to buy it, afraid to fly it, because the minute it gets blown up, it's it's gone. Alright, well, I can tell by the time on the clock it's time to kind of call it quits. I hope this was at least entertaining, maybe ever so slightly informative to at least somebody. I'm sure all the Star Citizen pros, there's nothing new and exciting that was going on here, but definitely get a view of at least why, and kind of a quick view of the game and why we kind of love to play with this unfinished glitchy game. And so with that, I think I'm gonna get stuck in an elevator. No, go. See where we can go. It's a good spot, and I know where we can go.
Are available to rent from one of our local providers. And help keep our halls looking their best. Every guest.
Yeah. Will I make it? 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 Yeah, yes. Tons of time to spare. Finish the stream like I usually finish my gameplay. Because we can't go into the rooms, but I like to at least finish where I start. Even though I didn't start here, I started out at Orison. Even though I can't access the room, I kind of fake it.
Nearing next stop.
So Aspire Grand, where you stay, and then the Brentworth Care Center, like I said, medical, residence, 3 leaves, guest apartments. So I usually call an elevator, go up to the top floor, because I'm high class. One more look out into the city's night sky. And then I usually pick a room. And that's where I exit the menu. So what essentially happens is that, so when I wake up, I'm in a room. Maybe not the room I died in, that I logged off in front of, but it'll be in front of a room. So it kind of creates a certain level of symmetry. Anyway, thanks for joining me. And don't know if I ever, maybe in a long time from now, I'll stream some more Star Citizen and maybe have the intro and outro videos to match. But until next time, I'll be streaming tomorrow as well. And I'll be posting this video on YouTube tomorrow after the 24-hour timeout. So until then, have a good one. And I'll see you in the verse, I guess. Good night.